Yeah. Shiloh, I said she's a.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm here.
Now.
We're at work.
Okay, Commission, we are live.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the May 28th meeting of the Board of Raleigh County Commissioners. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, it's raining.
Yeah, it is
It's
great.
pouring.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, do you have public comment this morning?
In here, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, everyone, again.
Hello.
Before we get to talking about what I want to talk about, I want to say thank you all for such a great event for the Mayfest. It went incredibly well. We had about 4 times as many people as we thought we were going to have there, and didn't have an incident. It was great, very family friendly.
I was
that event
stunned.
was
I
great.
walked around there myself and I was just stunned by all the vendors and
Yeah,
yeah, it's a good event.
yeah, it is good.
State your name.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Jake Vogelai. I'm with Manhattan Brewing.
Andrea Jesus, I'm with the Fair Board and A&H Farm.
So moving on past Mayfest, it's great. My next thing I wanted to present to you guys or talk about is we went to the Fair Board on Tuesday
Yes,
to see about getting alcohol sales at the fair. The Fair Board approved it, and under the conditions of having like a beer garden. I think we said in between Potterf Hall and Casement, the building right there.
the Beef Barn Building
Yeah, beef barn building.
Oh, okay.
in a grassy area that's just east of the parking lot, west of where the majority of the vendors set up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're coming to you guys to ask you to consider approving alcohol sales at the fair for this year. The thought being that we're going to make it very Riley County, which means that the beer garden will just be beers made in Riley County. And as well as and A&H Farm will be there too, doing wine, cider, all made in Riley County and then
Kansas,
Kansas. Yeah, Riley County, Kansas. Try to keep it as local as possible. So. Yeah.
yeah, and I guess we needed to ask you to put it on the agenda.
Oh, yeah.
So that we could speak or do the formal vote.
Get with Cindy in the clerk's office to find some time.
Okay, yeah, they asked us to come speak to you
Right.
first, public comment, but then,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
That'd be good. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Okay, any other public comment this morning?
Good morning, Commissioners. Ashley Easterday with the REACH Committee, and I am here to present Employee of the Month for June. Employee of the Month is Lamar Davis, and the nomination stated the following. I would like to nominate Lawrence Davis for Employee of the Month. From his very first day at Riley County, he has made a genuine effort to learn names, share a smile, and connect with others while carrying out his responsibilities. Despite being here for less than 2 months, Lawrence has already made a meaningful impact on those around him. On several occasions, he has taken the time to take or stop by the office just to say hello and ask if there's anything he can assist with. The pride and attention to detail he brings to his role do not go unnoticed. Every small gestures like offering a kind word or a friendly smile go a long way and are truly appreciated. Lawrence consistently contributes to a positive and welcoming workplace culture. His attitude, initiative, and commitment to excellence make him a deserving candidate for this recognition. So I'll ask you to come up and accept the award. Yeah, I guess to take pictures. And then you go.
Well, let him
the
get-
commissioners.
Speak. We want to hear a speech.
Just told pictures, buddy. Well, I guess I can give a speech. Thank you for stacking name tag. Lanyard. Okay. Thank you. First, I would like to say thank you for this. It was a big shocker. Because I've only been here for 4 months and someone told me I got nominated. So I would like to say thank you guys for putting me on the board for this company. And all of you guys have been very, very friendly. And I am a people person, but I try my best to be aware, be a good team player, you know, when other people are busy. And that's why sometimes before I do anything, hey, are you guys having a meeting or anything like that before I do stuff, you know? So I try my best to be a good team player. And but also I would like to compliment my supervisor who has been very helpful. He's been very thorough, and also I would like to compliment John as well, who has been very helpful. And they both have friendly attitudes. You know, they're patient, kind, loyal, you know, all that good stuff. And then the last person I would like to compliment is HR, you know, for filling me in on information with insurance, you know, where HSA is, stuff like that, and with Paylocity, things like that. And I think the other Michelle, she helped out with Paylocity. Then IT helped out with some stuff too. But so I would like to say pretty much I'm just saying thank you for all you guys have done for me. And I'm looking forward to staying here time. So I don't know about retirement, but I mean, this is the best place to be. So, but these 3 months I've been here, it has been fun. And again, thank you so much.
Good.
One more thing. Oh, so I got here back.
Every time. Every time.
Bring your flag.
Yeah.
Bring the flag. Gonna stand next to the flag. See it. Guess we haven't done this enough yet.
No. Over there.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew it would start. Any other public comment this morning? Okay, seeing none, we'll go to commission comments. Commissioner Ford?
Yes, well, hopefully everybody had a wonderful Memorial Day holiday weekend, able to get out with some family and friends and reflect on the day and what it means. Pretty nice day to be out and about doing whatever, but Thursday afternoon, I listened in on the National Association of Counties webinar on the Build America 250 Act, which will reauthorize federal surface transportation funds. I think we got members of Public Works in the off here this morning. They went through some key priorities that counties across the country have in the bill. There were some members of NACO staff and legislative assistants presenting on what's in the bill, what didn't make it in the bill, what's next, what key steps they're going to take to try to continue to engage with our federal delegations to get more and more of this taken care of. Friday, I met with MATC President Jim Gannant at the school in a possible life and science sickness career accelerator. As I say that, they need to, that's a hell of an acronym. In coordination with Fort Riley, came to them with this. Their goal is to go through DSIP, which is the Defense Community Interpretation Grants. This facility will help the installations in the resiliency, medical readiness, as well as the community capacity with the training the capable staff will be staying in the area to provide those services. Just as a heads up, as part of that application process, they'll be coming to us, basically wanting some kind of support for that, but it's going to be in a paragraph form, has to go in the application for the DSIP grant. So should be getting that over. As soon as I get it, I'll get it over to you and we'll just work it out that way. Saturday afternoon, had some friends come into town, had a late lunch at Bourbon and Baker. I don't get very often to go over there anymore. And considering it was a holiday weekend, it was rather busy too. Food was great, got caught up on some old times, laughed, blah, blah, blah. Sunday I spent at home kind of watching one of my favorite documentary series, Band of Brothers. Be kind of a tradition for me on Memorial Day and sometimes Veterans Day.
Solid choice.
If I have time on Veterans Day, I usually don't. So Monday, I had to catch the Fort Riley Memorial Day ceremony online as I've yet to go pick up my pass.
Oh,
And Monday wasn't the day to do that, obviously. So I had to watch it online, but I'm glad they had that option. Beautiful day the last couple of years. It's either been windy and you couldn't sit in your chair because it'd blow you over, or it was pouring down rain last year. So it's good to see the weather cooperated, and it was a good turnout, I think, because of that as well. Tuesday, I attended the May Board of Directors meeting for Pawnee Mental Health. That's via Zoom. Started off with our usual Finance Oversight Committee meeting to get caught up on view the budget and all the financial numbers up to date, as well as kind of start talking about fiscal year 27 for them. General meeting started with some opening remarks and introductions, including several new board members that will be coming on. We got a STARS Kid Camp update from Kimberly Sanchez, who's the Central Youth Community Services Program Supervisor. Well, that's another title that needs to be condensed. Then we got a Chief Financial Officer's update from Lindsay Miller. She gave us the financials from March to April and a draft review of the fiscal year 27 budget. We also got a Finance Oversight Committee report during that section too. After that, we heard a Chief Executive Officers and Marketing and Development report. It kind of got by Mike Riskella. It was a very long one because we didn't have an April meeting, so went through all that information. Other business included an insurance review, summary from the recent Pawnee board retreat. Wasn't able to attend that because that fell right during one of our meetings. And finished out the meeting with a couple of executive sessions. Of course, we'll meet again on a consistent basis in June. Spent Wednesday at work catching up on correspondence and going through the agenda for today's meeting. And also this morning, I went over to pay my motor vehicle fees and tags. Took literally less than 5 minutes. I spent more time talking to Shiloh than I think it took me to actually get it taken care of. But I always like putting a good plug for you guys because quick, you do work. We don't have the horror stories that we hear from around the state. And there's other issues with that. So I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. But and with that, that's all I've got.
Commissioner McKinley.
All right. Well, over the weekend Sunday, my brothers and their wives came out. We're planning a family reunion for this summer. Just our three families totals 45. But we've got cousins coming. It's gonna be over 60 probably. But we're getting things lined out now. Tuesday evening, I attended the Riley City Council. Someone would ask about why we were putting up a water tower. Public Works. So I explained what was going on, but as we were talking about that, the superintendent pointed out that Riley's water tower is over 100 years old and they don't last forever. And they just had the inspection this month on it. It's every couple of years they have to drain it and go inside it and do it and everything. It's still fine, but you know, it won't last forever. And then they're also working on a new sign out at the intersection there at Tuttle and Highway 24. And then they also updated the animal control ordinance to match with what's required for the RSPD animal control. Yesterday, I met with several people around the county and RCVD, went over some county business and the RCVD budget. It's going to be fun. Be a lot of ideas of fun. Huh?
That's your idea of fun. I don't want to see what's not fun.
You have more fun with it than I do. It's number.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of stuff going on there.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Well, let's see. Memorial Day, I looked at last week and I said it's over, so, but on Memorial Day, I spent some time at the Sunrise Cemetery, decorated our graves and visited with some people that were out wandering around and looking at things. It was really nice. That evening, I did go to the municipal band concert, first of the season at City Park. What a great time. And that's the beginning of their season. So it'll be every Monday night, I think it is Monday night this summer. So
That's at the March show.
yeah, and they're so good, even for the first performance. They're amazing, big fan. Tuesday caught up on some county business, some law board issues, returned a lot of messages, went through a lot of things. Reviewed today's agenda and documents later in the day, and Then on Wednesday, I had lunch with a friend, then came into my office, reviewed today's agenda again, and had a meeting with the county attorney on some law board things. Then I went to the Rural Economic Advisory Board meeting. A group focused on how to get information on various grants and projects to rural communities. And so it was a good interaction of ideas and comments. So I have a copy of their agenda, and so if anybody wants to take a look at it, so in their packet. Let's see. And that's about it for me. So.
Speaking of information, I do have some information on that DSEP grant. If anybody's wanting that, I can get a copy. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, first business item we have is an agreement for professional service for the Green Randolph Road, project G 3-9 Schwab and Eaton.
Anything we should know, not know?
That's
Okay.
the usual.
Okay. Good to me. And we'll make a motion to approve the agreement for professional services with Schwab Eaton, PA.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agreement for professional services with Schwab Eaton, PA. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Please sign.
Oh, online?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might be a little wet out there for golf.
You'll fill in all these dates, right?
How much more quicker it'd be if you just had a stamp.
Oh, but it wouldn't be any fun.
Yeah.
Next, I need a motion on the highway use permit for Larson Construction.
I'd move to approve the application for highway use permit for Larson Construction.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the application for highway use permit for Larson Construction. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sheriff, please sign. Lots of sign it tabs.
Happens when you miss a Monday meeting due to holiday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't ever get out of the work, it just stacks up on you.
Yes, yeah.
How it is with all of us. Next, Commissioner, the motion on the outstanding check resolution.
A little bigger number than usual, or
It's actually a little bit smaller than
It
last
is?
year's.
must be thinking something else then. Yeah. Do I make a motion to approve resolution number 052826? Resolution voiding outstanding checks issued by Riley County prior to April 30th, 2024.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 052826, a resolution voiding outstanding checks issued by Raleigh County prior to April 30th, 2024. All in favor?
All three, please sign.
A lot of the AP checks are, see our $10 checks. If we could ever get, something changed for the courts where they could opt in, because people don't cash those jury checks.
Oh, gotcha.
one,
And that's
yeah, there's a whole string of those. I didn't know what that
Yep.
was.
they are.
I don't think it was election something.
I thought too. There's probably some of those mixed in there as well.
There's several,
Yeah, there's a few.
several names I knew on that. It's not the jury one, but others.
Yeah. We did reach out to some that, because there were some Riley County employees. So we did reach out and say, did you lose the checks? We did, and some of the larger ones, we do try to research before. There's one large one on there that we've been trying to get them to cancel, and so we're just gonna turn that over to their property and.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Next, commissioners need a motion to approve the CIP project amendments.
John, what's the HVAC? I know the other ones, what's the HVAC replacements?
Those are continuing to do those 25 AC units that we have.
Oh, okay.
Get in and replace.
Yeah. Thought we talked about it, I just couldn't remember what that one's about.
Why is the space needs study going up almost 35,000?
That was from the original estimate before we got.
Who did the estimation on that?
So it was before we went into, that was just the project started. That was before we interviewed and picked.
Okay.
And then that was the total price for doing. That was for the help.
Right.
Yeah, the 85 was what we had on from the consultant.
Yeah.
I think so,
Estimated 50 or something.
If I remember right, that includes everything. Where the other ones that we looked at, where it didn't include. So,
That's just the study.
yeah.
And they're already doing the study.
We'll put them on hold. Or until we're comfortable with them meeting with the staff. In each division over there.
Okay.
Do we have a motion or?
I move to approve the CIP project amendments for the health department, space needs study, IT GIS remodel, and HVAC replacement projects as presented.
Well, second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the CIP project amendments for the health department, FCRC space needs study, ITGIS remodel, and HVAC replacement projects for public works facilities as presented. All in favor? Aye.
Sure, please sign.
Was the IT and GIS increase due to the generator? Or is that something?
When they gave
separate?
that first estimate, they told us that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't gonna be close.
You approved the, a few weeks, about a few weeks
Yeah.
before.
Right,
Right, so that's getting CIP authorization.
okay. I didn't know if the generator was part of that. Or is that
It's all
separate?
part of that.
Okay, okay, then we
My
were,
original estimate was CIP. Way low.
Yeah, the generator.
yeah, they're not cheap.
Well, like I said, when you first brought that number, you said it could be a lot more, because,
Yeah, that is server.
yeah, that's.
Yeah, I got you. I just wanted to know if the generator was part of this new estimate or not, so, okay. So that makes a little more sense.
It's in the project cost you approved.
Okay,
Next, commissioners need a motion on Riley County Employee Action Form, Sam Thompson, volunteer firefighter, separation of service, Dippy Green, election worker, clerk election department, separation of service, Maya Colley, promotion, full-time paramedic, EMS ambulance, Anthony Pearson, new hire, on-call juvenile intake, community corrections, Dolores Cobbins, new hire, on-call juvenile intake officer, community corrections, Samuel Myers, facilities grounds tech, separation of service, Lauren McCaffrey, new hire, intern health department.
phew. Okay, well, do I make a motion to approve the requested employee action?
Second,
It's been moved and second to approve the requested Raleigh County action forms as presented. All in favor?
Okay,
Aye.
good too.
I'd have brought my raincoat.
Since well, this rain now, we'll be really wanting it in August and September.
yeah. You need to try it.
Well, I
Maybe
water,
July
I
too.
water a bunch over the weekend.
Yeah.
That's what it did. That's what happens.
What I've been seeing. Everybody out mowing here over the last week and a half.
When you get a break, you had all that rain for a while, everyone was behind, and then
I could also tell the water tables come up quite a bit too.
Good for trying to put down grass seed this year.
oh, good.
We're just starting to come up, and that's when you're going to need some.
Yeah, it is. It needs to
soaking,
stay moist.
so it can soak in there, so. Our water bill's gonna be a lot.
Welcome to the city.
Yeah.
It's gone up anyway in the city.
Goes up every year.
Everything does. Got my new insurance bill and it went up $16. It doesn't sound, that's per month.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like Chuck's not any older, like they haven't done anything to. That's ridiculous.
Actually, your truck is older, so it should be less.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Never in this.
Haven't made a claim and. Knock on wood, 20-something years.
There you
but,
go. Jinx yourself.
Yeah, I know. Thought about doing that with that hailstorm a couple of years ago, but I didn't.
Count on him being late to the next meeting.
Yeah.
They'll give you a nice check besides the deductible, but they'll charge you $30 more a month. They're not making up the difference.
Commissioners, you want to proceed with business, or you want to take Jacob and then catch up later?
Or at least get council for it, so as you can.
Not really all that far behind her.
No,
Fine by me if we just do it now. You don't have anything exciting?
I won't, yeah, I won't set a dog.
you don't need 20 minutes.
Well, I suppose I'll leave that up to the board to decide.
Yeah, true.
I've got 25 questions for you.
Next, commissioners need a motion to approve payroll and accounts payable.
I'd move to approve payroll and accounts payable for May 29th, 2026.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve payroll accounts payable for May 29th, 2026. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All three, please. Sign changes the minutes, commissioners.
Didn't see anything.
In motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes as written from the, I guess that was the May 21st meeting of the Riley County Commission.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as presented from the May 21st, 2026 meeting. All in favor?
I
Aye.
Tentative agendas, the commissioners.
am having Cindy move the data center discussion on Monday.
Two.
Talked about it.
Okay, any items for next week's press conference?
I may or may not be here in person on Monday, at least for the business part of the meeting.
Okay.
I've got some stuff to catch up on, so if I'm here, I might as well at least stay for that.
You'll let us know Monday.
Mhm.
Yeah. Sounds good. Next year, Mr. Hanson. Commission's ready.
Pretty quick.
Okay, you can go ahead if you.
Sure. Good morning, Commissioners. Jacob Hanson, Riley County Councilor. I just have two items I really want to touch base on for the administrative session. And the first is considering House Bill 2481. This was a bill that was passed by the legislature to extend, well, there was the hiatus on the short-term rentals, and then there was the potential extension for liquor sales. Given the FIFA World Cup and everything like that. So I had an individual reach out to me recently to ask what the board's position was on either expanding those hours. And so I want to take the time to talk about that to you guys. And so what this essentially would do, the time frame that we're looking on is June 11th through July 19th. We can expand the hours from 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. the following day. We can narrow that if you guys would like, but I'm also struggling to think this would only affect the unincorporated areas of Riley County. So I don't know if we have any establishments that would even apply to.
Yeah,
Is there?
in Aggieville Brewing, just off the viaduct there.
Okay.
They
So
you.
in the event that you are interested in expanding those, we would need to pass a resolution in order to effectuate that.
I don't think it's gonna affect anything. I'm already hearing Kansas City's well below the line on things. I hope it goes well, don't get me wrong, but
Sure.
for a couple establishments, I don't think we need to change anything around and make it confusing, in my opinion.
They come in and talk to us, ask for it. That's.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing saying we
I think it's
can't
more
do a
expensive.
resolution.
I mean, that's
later.
fine, but
Well,
I think it's more expensive for them because you have to have labor and stuff there for maybe a few people, you know, I just don't, yeah.
So, let's get a request from an establishment.
Yeah, the individual that reached out was they stated they were from Kentucky, and I think they were an owner of maybe a hotel around the area, as from what I could gather. So that's the basis of who reached out,
Oh, okay.
just to give you guys that context. So we can just keep as is, and until we hear more from people, we'll just hold off. If that sounds good, Commissioner.
I would have thought actually you would hear from people before now. I mean, it's only a few weeks away.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only one I'm aware of anyways. Maybe there's others.
If they're gonna do something here in the city or something, which I haven't heard either, I mean, that's fine, but
Yeah.
I don't see us getting a lot of overflow from Kansas City when Kansas City is already pretty much underwhelmed at this point in time, so. That's
They're
my
not
thoughts.
doing it in Kansas City.
They are, but their plans have been well below what was estimated, so.
Well, as long as I have consensus from the board, I'll go ahead and let the individual know that at this time we're not interested in expanding.
Yeah. it's
Okay. Very good. And then the other point that I wanted to bring up briefly is that here in the near future, I'm gonna come up with John and we're gonna talk about First Christian Church options and what's going on there. I had a good conversation with Catherine Hensler yesterday, just kind of about some maybe expectations and thoughts about next steps and what to do now, considering that the property is on the state and national historic registry. So there's options. It's on what we can do. So we'll come back and give you guys a clear, larger picture of what to do. And so I would just maybe ask that you guys kind of keep that top of mind of what you're thinking on what you would like to do with the property. So whether that to keep it, build on it, work on it, or if we're still looking at potentially removing and establishing a new building, just keep all those thoughts in mind. So outside of those two things, I don't necessarily have anything else to share with the administrative session. I know Michael talked about it briefly last week that our tax foreclosure sale is coming up. It's going to be June 26th. So about the same time as what we usually have. So that's coming along without too much issue. We did have one individual who was about 130,000 in taxes finally pay up. So that's certainly good news. Yeah, that's where we're at. Any specific questions about anything my office is handling at this time? All right. Thank you very much.
Commissioner, you have Megan Lewis at 9:20.
You're saying moving data centers off on Monday?
We talked about it.
What?
Well, I still don't understand why you haven't figured out we have meetings on Monday.
Well, I made that
A lot of
meeting in
stuff.
March, Greg. I didn't know that we were gonna have all this stuff coming up in June.
But we always have meetings on Monday.
I understand that.
Okay. I realize the other stuff's more important than our meetings evidently.
Well, getting out in the public and doing things, yeah, I agree, it is important. I didn't know we were gonna have a discussion on data centers. I didn't know.
Well, you never know what's coming.
Well, there's $20 to the fund.
My niece and nephew were playing on my drum set over the weekend.
Oh.
We only take that.
In the future, I'll be more mindful of that. But that's one of those discussions I think the more I'm learning about it, the more I'm confused, quite honestly.
I understand. But again, I always leave everything open till noon on Monday.
Yeah.
Because you never know when the meeting's gonna last long.
I try not to do anything, schedule anything until about 2:00, so that in case something else comes up, but, you have to do what you have to do.
This was earlier than that, so I agree, but it was, I don't want to say begged, but it was highly asked, so.
Yeah.
Lights on automatic heating.
Huh?
I thought I had my light off of that automatic off and on motion stuff. Apparently not. Somebody reset it. Or it did it by itself. I don't.
Beats me. I'm not even gonna try to understand.
I guess that's a good attitude.
I should mention, still no word on prayer decision. I've been searching every friggin' week, just waiting.
I'm
Keep holding us in suspense.
wondering if that doesn't come out sometime this next month. Usually maybe I'm thinking of the US Supreme Court. We usually
Oh,
get
yeah,
a bunch of decisions.
You're
in
probably,
June.
yeah, you're thinking US. The Kansas Supreme Court, it does pretty well at just continuously rolling them out. But they also are down to just this too, so that doesn't help.
It's.
Managing to keep off the foot very much. Yeah.
For the most part, yes.
That sounds good.
It's tough.
Well, like I said, it's hard to maneuver the scooter all the time. So
Yeah.
I don't do that. Crutches I use sometimes because it's easier to walk faster on the crutches now.
Where are they?
They're at home. I have my scooter in the car. But if I'm not trying to get somewhere, I do sit. I don't just walk around.
Yeah.
Casually walk around. I did go out to the lake on Sunday and we have a slip down to the dock. And so I don't know if you've ever been to Tubman.
Yeah.
But went all the way from the parking lot all the way down to the boat stuff and there's just.
Uh-oh.
It took me about 15 minutes to get from my car down there.
Oh no.
I told my husband, like, go in front of me, go and cover the boat, get it all ready, and by the time I get there, you'll be done. And then I got off and I'm like, now get it all covered up, and I'm gonna be at the car, probably by the time you're done. And that was the case.
Is the water warmed up any?
I think it was like around 76 degrees. I didn't actually like touch the water.
Get
I
in
just
the water.
like to just lay there
There.
and take in the sun.
Yeah.
While my husband fishes, I'm like, I'm out. I put in my earphones. I usually listen to Judge Judy and.
Well, that's not too calming on the water.
It's very calming. I love Judge Judy.
Is she still going? Is that still going?
Yeah, it's Justice Judy now.
Oh wow.
So,
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever heard of the show Tribunal Justice? So it's 3 judges and people go and present their case. And the 3 judges are asking questions and then they go back and deliberate and they all vote, for a verdict and the majority, wins the vote. But one of the judges is her son.
Oh, that's funny.
So and
Taking the reins.
I watched an episode and this girl was crying. She's like, "Where's Judge Judy?" And he's like, "You think I'm mean? You really want to talk to my mom?" Like,
That's funny. Surprisingly, the most accurate attorney show I've ever watched was, believe it or not, Better Call Saul. That had, aside from the actual criminal stuff that was going on, all of like how the courts operated and how they were in court, that was like, they nailed that.
I'll have to. My husband always just said, "Let's watch that. Let's watch that."
It's a good one. I love that show. It was good.
He's seen it and said it was good. We really liked The Lincoln Lawyer.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Have you ever watched the series?
I never watched the series. I did watch the movie, but I never watched the series.
The series was a lot better than the movie. I
Yeah.
had never seen the movie. We watched the series and then we watched it. And I was like, "Oh, it's a good movie," but I definitely like the series.
Yeah. No, I think I started to at one point and then I got distracted with something else. Never came back to it, but
Well, I also liked Suits.
yeah.
That's so unrealistic. I'm like, it's so good.
It's so fun. It's TV. It should be fun, right? That's kind of the point. If it was supposed to be exactly how lawyers are like, it ain't fun to watch. Watching people on a computer all day. There you go.
Well, then I will, just bring it here.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, now it stopped completely.
It's done.
It pours down and then stops and pours.
I got to use my chainsaw this weekend, so that was exciting. I bought it figuring I'd probably use it for something, and then I had a giant like branch fall into my driveway. And most people would be like frustrated by that, but I'm like, yes, I gotta use it. And it worked well. It did what it needed to do. It was an electric one. I've never used an electric one before.
I've got an electric. I've got one of each, but where I am now, I'm thinking about selling the gas one.
Yeah.
There's nothing that big.
That you need to
Big,
cut.
huge trees there.
Yeah.
It worked, that electric one works pretty well.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Mine is actually, I think it was my dad's.
No kidding. The gas powered.
No, the electric.
Oh, wow.
It's old.
Huh. I don't know they had an electric.
Because you have a pacemaker, you're not supposed to use a chainsaw. Somehow, I think because the battery is, or the spark plug is right next to your hand, near the ground.
Okay.
But now they're saying, and that was what it used. They said, you can do chainsaws or electric or welders can't be around those. Because the electric,
Yeah.
electric flying around mess it up. But now they're saying, they've seen stuff saying, yeah, I'm probably gonna change it. Welders stay away from this because there's just electricity
Yeah.
blowing out of them.
Right.
I don't think chainsaws are, so.
That's interesting.
But last time I had big branches out of my house, my son brought a chainsaw out.
You let him do it.
I drug stuff away, but I didn't use.
There's just something about it that's just really entertaining. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's a habit. I can't help it.
Oh, yeah, okay, sounds good.
At 9:40.
That'll work.
That-
Yeah, that'll work. I meant to send my response back over to you, but apparently I failed on that. You got that email, dude?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I would advise actually not responding to it.
okay. I didn't respond to him directly. I was trying to respond to you.
Oh, okay.
And I see seating, but I forgot to put your email
Okay.
in there.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack in that.
Yeah. I will go ahead and forward this over to you so you have it. I didn't correspond with him specifically, so
Okay.
should be good there.
Yeah. Yeah, I find the merits of his claims are doubtful. Doubtful.
Really dark.
For now. Wait another 20 minutes.
Wait another.
I'll take the rain. Sure.
The screen up here is really dark.
Go down.
Go down.
You were.
Was I in the right direction?
You were.
Yeah. That monthly staff.
There.
There, yes.
I'm so glad you were here to help me, you guys.
Or don't click the down arrow.
Don't click, just double click on the,
I would click the down arrow, click just, yeah.
just this, every time. Give me a couple years and I'll figure it out. Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Lewis, Director of Community Corrections. I am here to give our monthly staff update. For the month of April, we had a total of 26 intakes. It says 25 on our numbers, but we actually had 26. And I will tell you that so far today, we have surpassed that for the month of May. Our intakes have definitely been up. We had 13 that were released to parents or guardians, 1 released to a relative, 3 were placed in protective homes, 1 went to an emergency shelter, 4 were released to the contractor or DCF worker, and then 3 had been placed in detention in April. For our youth court immediate intervention program, we had a total of 31 different participants. And we have on juvenile intensive supervision for the month of April, a total of 19. That includes individuals that are on our juvenile intensive supervision as well as in the correctional facility and out on conditional release and courtesy souped out. For adult intensive supervision, we had a total of 102. 81 of those are being directly supervised within our office. We had 4 in treatment, 17 in jail, and then 33 absconders. Our recovery court program, in April, we had 20 participants and a total of 72 participants since the start of the program. 23 have graduated from Riley County, 9 from Clay County, and then 20 have been removed or revoked for different reasons. Our next recovery court graduation is going to be on August 5th. Some of the things we have going on within community corrections is June 30th is the end of our fiscal year. So we are working on just making sure we have everything in place for that. Our purchases are done. And then we're working on our BJA closeout as well. That finished at the end of March. However, our closeout is due on July 29th. So we are working with our program evaluator and as well as our consultant with BJA to make sure we have everything in place. We've been in communication with the city of Manhattan for opioid funds requests to help support the recovery court program. It's my understanding that they are hoping to have a decision made in July, possibly August, to tell us if they are going to continue to help fund that and at what level. In addition, I have a few other announcements. Our ISO 2 has made a retirement announcement. So right now, her last day is supposed to be July 1st. So that's Sandy Harper.
That's what I thought.
And then in addition, yesterday, our juvenile services officer, Michael McNatt, has made an announcement that he has given his notice. He's going to be moving out of state. So we will definitely have some changes within community corrections. I'll be coming back in front of you to do some requests to fill positions and we'll work forward. So, yeah. Do you have any questions about any of that? Thank you, commissioners.
Thanks, Megan. Next, Commissioners, we have Angela Shepherd at 9:35.
You want to talk now? Okay.
Wake up.
Yes.
A minute.
Yeah.
Why do we have a break in here?
Cindy sent that email yesterday because of the public hearing at the end. We can't move the public hearing at the end.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Yeah, she sent it to all commissioners.
Huh, okay, I better look. In monitoring that. Ah, there it is. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not the only one.
Oh, no, no.
Sounds like an oven in
I didn't
here.
plan it till I got in here. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's,
I think it's time to move over from winter to summer.
Fun, cool.
Then we better have the HVAC looked at and added on CIP because it's not working.
Yeah, I looked at it, this one was like.
It's set like
70.
70.
70 or 71, something like that.
I never gets below that in here, I don't think. And
Yeah.
here, out in the other area might be different.
Cool out there.
Yeah.
I think
I walked into my office and it looked like a projector screen. Yeah, it's just one blind. But they're nice. They are nice. They,
But why they did yours only one? I guess the windows, are they
cheaper.
attached?
no, they're, well, the whole frame is, but
Yeah.
there's 3 separate windows. It doesn't matter.
Like, what's
all
that?
good.
Well, this one I understand, because you didn't get used to it.
Mine's kind of the same setup as that
Yeah.
one. Not a big deal.
It's not heavy
No, no, you just use the
thing.
deal
yeah.
on the side. You don't even have to pull them down. It moves really, really effectively. A good job with them. It was just hard to walk in there and just see this big gray thing stuck in the window.
Well, I think that- Gonna let some light through.
That's why I kind of left mine open, get a little sunlight in the, it's good for my
Really
cactus.
fun.
Those are real.
Yeah, I do. I do know that. I do know that.
Did you hear the Matson's show today?
Yeah.
Who's on it today?
Joe Knopp talking about this, the K-State's TIF that they're looking for.
Oh no.
I can only imagine.
I'll be listening to that one.
Why give it the whole hour?
You got time. Interesting.
Yeah, I have a lot of comments on what came to myself.
A lot of problems with that. Giving tax breaks to upper, they call them upper higher end condos.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
giving
they
them a
were
tax
supposed
break.
to be. Said that they were supposed to be. taxed.
Well, there's 3 different
TIF
entities
and
involved in it, and that's the challenge with it.
Yeah, we had
And the state's paying for most of it, but technically,
The star bond or sales.
Yeah.
tax.
yeah.
I can. Fine with that. TIF doesn't. It also affects the foundation is in competition with local people. There's me.
Sure.
I guess they're tax exempt.
Just keep walking back and forth.
Yeah, it gets warm in here.
you could get an HVAC vent. Somewhere right about there, John.
You need one on your desk.
Yeah,
One right
I need to
here,
get a
too.
fan or something.
Well,
Because technically, we're gonna be on the hotter side of the building over here with the
They
window.
probably make fans that'll clip on there, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Clip on your computer, little.
Yeah, those don't work. Usually those are for the computer.
No, Greg and I don't like fans on our head.
How's that one? I just put it on the lowest. No, is that the highest?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lowest high, highest low.
it's the opposite.
All right. Is that better or worse? You guys know?
I don't really feel it, so maybe it goes that way. I don't know. And their fans are just one direction. So like in the wintertime, you're supposed
No,
to.
they should switch. It's probably just switched the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
They usually have a switch.
I have one of those on my porch and I was switching it back and forth and I couldn't tell the difference.
So one of them's supposed to push heat down or air down.
Switch on these maybe on the top of it.
That.
I don't think these are moving that
That's right.
fast to make a big difference in that arena. I don't know. I'm not a fan specialist, so.
Well, who's gonna crawl up there?
John, he's
John, yeah.
facilities, facilities.
Jerry would be the one doing it more than likely.
Thank you.
Jeremy, that's like, 'cause he doesn't need a ladder.
That's true. That is true.
Whether it goes clockwise or counterclockwise, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
those are blowing where it pushes it down.
So it's just not going fast enough.
Yeah.
Going the right direction.
You get one of those like big steel industrial fans in the corner.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they are loud.
Now,
Yeah,
why
and
was
it's
that?
surprising.
They can hold anything.
Dead silent. That's kind of weird.
I know, considering that all the other fans we have made different noises at different times. They were only like 40 years old.
You are?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. No kidding. That was annoying. Angela, you ready?
Yep.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
As you know, I'm the city planner for the city of Ogden, but for the last year, I've also been helping write grants for Flint Hills Regional Council. I came to you guys last year for a letter of authorization to participate in a regional Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. We were not successful in the application. We scored very high and got some good feedback from the program and are reapplying this year. Talked with staff and essentially the grant is remaining the same. We did speak with Riley, the city of Riley, and they are participating as well now. So another town in Riley. This grant will do a safety action plan for the entire county, Potawatomi County, some towns in Potawatomi County, and some towns in Riley County. It also provides some demonstration activities, so quick build things like crosswalks, striping, signage, that kind of thing. Temporary things that will help inform the safety action plan. And we will be cooperating with KDOT and the MPO for other plans that are going on in the county to make sure we're not duplicating. There's no ask from from the county, as far as funds. The matching funds for this grant will come from the Build Kansas Fund, state of Kansas. And so, do you guys have any questions? The total grant request is 1.7 million to cover all those areas and get the planning done. With the plan in place, it also opens up some construction funds that would not be available otherwise. So,
Yeah, I like the fact that this is kind of extended out into some other areas, because I think they do the score and they kind of base it off of, you know, as much as you can possibly do within the bounds of those type of
yes.
grants, so.
So the city of Ogden and Manhattan are not participating. The city of Ogden has our own
Yeah.
one of these grants separately, and the city of Manhattan, I don't know, they didn't want to participate, so I don't know if they have something else going on, but they didn't
If I
want,
remember right,
they
the
didn't participate last year.
MPO is the one administering that for you guys over there in Ogden.
They're helping with it,
Okay.
yes.
That's the same thing last year. It's fine with me. Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the letter of support authorizing Riley County's participation in the Flint Hills Regional Council's multi-jurisdictional application for safe streets and roads for all planning and demonstration grant.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the letter of support authorizing Raleigh County's participation in the Flint Hills Regional Council's multi-jurisdictional application for safe streets and roads for all planning and demonstration grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All three, please sign. Thank you, Angela.
I'll just email that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Commissioners, due to that public hearing, you now have a break until 10:05. Thing on the agenda we couldn't move.
If I have to, I'll reschedule my 11:30. That happened kind of fast. So.
I don't know, sometimes those go quick.
When I originally looked at it, thought the hearing was at a different time, but
I think they scheduled it late because I remember the commission discussed there might be a lot of people, so they wanted it towards the end of the meeting.
Only
Mhm.
20 minutes.
Just in case, it gives them more flexibility.
Take longer than that the other times we've heard.
oh boy, could be here a while.
You know, maybe filling back up.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, commissioners, I'm gonna return to my.
Morning, David.
A little bit.
Okay.
Thank you.
You got a minute? I know I've got time here, so.
Get to 10:05.
Yeah, it's over with this time. We'll get it. Yep. Yeah.
You want trouble?
No.
Okay, just check.
That's not what you said earlier.
You're in trouble.
That's not what you said earlier.
Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, good for them, yeah. But then somebody else is gonna expect us to, when they come to see my third. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that's the whole floor thing. Oh, yeah, cause I can, brush out there. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, try. Well, we were closed on Monday. Yeah. Every other week, you ever cleaned up your yard, like I did. I stopped and walked in. Yeah, like before it was okay, is the shoot, it's been a hassle from the beginning, and then contractors not the best. Work. He wants money for every little thing, and then, so the shoot was designed to be factory built. Coated. Galvanized coated, the whole thing. Well, first, I don't think you would think. You know. That's where the first one they indicated in pieces. And they have to stick welded up on the side. So you got galvanized pieces, your stick welded, which takes off all the gas. And John goes back and about the rest of it, or spray coat.
Oh. Mike, just, we're talking to John Lloyd, or someone you know. A different John. Okay.
Planes.
I
told her she's getting talked to. Another arms director, his name's Joe.
Oh.
John's not gonna be available for this time.
You know how many times I'm in a grocery store or someplace and I hear my name and the head just turns?
Oh, yeah. Back this up to. He's not afraid to like something. I think so. I don't think Clayton's been too eager to do that. He would have.
It does.
It was, are you willing to take this on? Yeah. I mean, we barely got it out. Saying yes, I'm glad after.
It won't go on the screen.
Didn't expect him to say that.
That's interesting. You guys get the transfer station open finally?
We have issues with how they put the chute together.
Well, they better eat the cost on that.
That part of the issue was done correctly. They wanted more money to do it better. And we're not where we want to pay more,
Mhm.
or, you know, and so we're kind of being cautious on when we open. Just not give the impression that we're accepting.
Mm.
But yeah, the idea was should have been open, should have been working.
I've had a few frank conversations on that.
You've had,
Mhm. Yeah,
I mean,
I just told them, I said, we're working on it, we're gonna make sure it's done right moving forward and.
that's it. The plan wasn't to be for this long.
Mhm.
We had this temporary for this long, but we also want to make sure we get what we asked for. Or make it the best for us as we can. Without accepting subpar work.
You might need to get something out to the public on that, kind of explaining things. I don't know whether you guys do that or if you work through. Well, I guess we don't have a PIO at the moment, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Mhm. One consolidated message would be better than just hearsay. Just a thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it's a steady growth.
I think what probably really happened is this is the time of the year a lot of people are doing yard work, tree work, and then with the storm here last
After the
week.
storm,
Yeah,
let's move out. Might even move out. Where you have the switching students
yeah.
and rental places.
Seems like a lot of commercial or property changes hands about this time of the year too. Okay. Good to know.
It's not ideal, we didn't want to get this long.
Sometimes life works out that way. Must be raining.
I walk over there and there's a trigger and I come back out and come back and I'm
Monsoon.
even with an umbrella. Trying to go somewhere cooler.
Mm. I've struggled here with that too. It's always hot in here. Except for that one February when the HVAC went out. It was a little chilly in that morning.
Do that over this.
Biggest problem in this room, there's not a lot of movement of air, even with the fans.
You got them. Cracks me up. Well, sometimes it doesn't even phase me about the time you really out.
But you can look through that part.
You're flicking it, huh? Yeah, I do it too, because I break them off.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah,
Break off that thing on a brand new pen, you gotta throw the pen away.
I hang on to it for a while, but then, yeah.
I think I've got enough pens in my collection to last me the rest of my lifetime. No problem. Gel pens, regular pens, yeah.
It's like the adult fidget.
I've got those on my desk too.
I've got one of those buried somewhere, someplace at home.
Maybe break that and it's a break on the pins.
Really frustrated and dying.
Oh.
You
Oh.
spin it.
Yeah, I haven't seen the diamond one, but I've seen the other ones. I'm like,
Got one of those Staples easy buttons too somewhere. Put batteries in that and use that.
Haven't seen one of those in a while.
It's easy. I don't know if having Monday off was good or bad at this point in time.
it's great.
It's great. It's great.
Was it?
It was nice.
Well, what tends to happen at work for us is we'll have that Monday off, but then we'll work the Tuesday through the Friday to make up for it. So then you only have a 2-day weekend the following. It's kind of like,
Yeah. I don't know what it is about Mondays off. It's great, but coming back Tuesday's like a Monday times 2.
yeah, or you have to spread that out through the rest of the week. It
Yeah.
doesn't go away.
What is that? Until what time?
10:05.
5:05.
Oh. Hang on. Where in my car? I'm like, are you supposed to be that? Sorry, but come on. No. So, no. Oh. Okay, but it's, and so.
It doesn't work on these TVs. Works on the wall. Works there, works there.
Doesn't work
Works on the
TV.
window, but
Oh, wow. Yeah, it just
you
completely
go to
disappeared.
hit the TV and it's
Ain't nothing.
nothing.
Huh.
I guess that's keeps the cats from jumping on that.
And so.
Yeah,
Wow, it like completely disappeared.
seeing that?
Yeah. Does it have a green?
Huh?
Does it have different color light to it?
No, it doesn't. These are from 2017, so they're about a decade old. Surprised it still works. Wanted to get a cat to jump around. They're gonna jump that far. Maybe that's the whole purpose of it, keep them off the TV.
Maybe not a bad idea.
No, I did last year. I know, right? Got all these people.
We're supposed to, and tomorrow possibly too.
There's a maybe possibility,
I think it was this morning, this afternoon.
That's what I'm saying. For not to work.
Sorry, it's not for me, but this the minute I change something. Oh.
Yes. So, yeah.
No, we didn't. I mean, we had it for like burgers.
I'm gonna open mine up. I've had the AC on the last couple of days. It's just too hot. I know it's gonna get hot, but.
Seems-
What was it last week? During the day, it was hot, but at night.
So, in case you're wondering, it's raining. If you noticed. Oh, yeah, you're a little wet. I'm a little wet.
Like I say, it was pouring out, and then you look out and it's wet, and then it's coming, it's real.
Little pop-up showers.
Yeah.
Had a little steam room there, that's how you can clean your suit.
Yeah, I know, no doubt. Any commissioners?
Mhm.
Okay, good morning, Commissioners. John Ellerman, Public Works. This morning, I have a couple requests to fill positions for you, for your approval this morning. First one is the Facility and Grounds Tech position. This is open due to one of the employees going to the Air Force, joining the Air Force. He wanted some time off before he actually reports, I think. He reports 1st of July, somewhere in there, so. He gave us 2 weeks, and I think he's got to be the next week will be his last week. And so this is a position that takes care of the trash at all the parks, the restrooms at Wildcat, and Keats buildings, and then the mowing and weeding that we do normal landscape maintenance and that too. So what you see up there is the essential functions of this position. This is not the caretaker position over at the Pot Rock, but we're asking for either a Tech 1 or a Tech 2 position, whichever we would like to fill the Tech 2 if we can. If not, advertising for the Tech 1 or 2 gives us an opportunity to hire someone with a little less experience, but still a good candidate for the job.
You think it's gonna be easy to fill? I mean, seems like we're getting a smaller and smaller group with these.
We seem to be, I don't know if we really didn't get we've got we end up getting a lot of candidates for seasonal, but I don't think we had any really, really good ones to fill full-time.
It's probably gonna be the case for both. If you can't get a 1, it's gonna be even harder to get a 2.
Yeah, with a little bit more experience.
Yeah.
I think the pay kind of helps, but we'll see what we come up with. I mean, can't hire them if we don't advertise for them.
Is there a specific way to look at K-State or some of the other educational facilities and see if
We
there's
can
candidates
maybe-
from that group?
Steal one from the city or.
There is a potential of one person that did interview for the seasonal that may be considered for the position.
Are they wanting full-time and just working seasonal?
They are moving here,
Oh,
and so they were looking for something and a potential candidate.
We still have a couple weeks or a week or so before we can interview them in person. That person,
gotcha. Okay,
but we still need to advertise.
right.
Work to get it open and up.
Okay.
Do one at a time or you would move?
Well, we need to do one at a time, don't we? They're two separate.
Well, the motion anyway, he can present them both, it's whatever the
Okay,
board
that's fine.
wants.
Yeah.
Okay,
So then the next one is equipment operator. Position, this position was or will be for the asphalt crew. That's PAF, I'm sorry. So yeah, this one gave us notice last week that he tends to leave and go drives a truck full time, I think is what they were gonna do. So this position does the patching, chip seals, if we do chip seals, crack sealing, any of the maintenance on asphalt roads is what this position will entail. We would like to see a 2 would be with a CDL, a 1 is if they didn't have a CDL, and we would help them attain that. Those have been kind of on and off, whether we get one with CDL or not. It's just the luck of the draw or the right timing, I think. So,
so for both of these, you have priced in the operator two. rather
they're
than-
budgeted for those positions and we should have plenty of room for them.
Okay, well, I make a motion to approve Public Works to fill the vacant facility and grounds technician position.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded for Public Works to fill the vacant facility and ground technician position. All in favor?
That's fine.
Yeah, it's really raining.
Mm-hmm.
Currently have the rain gauge, so I'll be able to figure out how much we have. Not to believe the news.
Need to get my raindrop app.
Hmm,
I'll put it directly at your place.
that's a good
usually
idea.
Pretty accurate.
I've got
I
one.
don't know what happened, mine. It just disappeared. I don't know if it blew away in the wind or somebody else decided they needed a rain.
You got a
gauge.
new phone. That was
There's
it?
a,
You got a new phone.
Yeah, yeah.
there's also another app. You gave
Yes,
I mean,
me
I,
that
nothing else. I
free-
can look at the K-State Mesonet. That's pretty.
Free,
That's-
free
that's what I look at.
Yes, which is
Hey.
really big. Light rain for at least the next hour.
That's their idea of light. Holy cow. Anyway.
On the second,
So I'm getting there. Okay, make a motion to approve make a motion for Public Works to fill the vacant Public Works operator position.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Public Works to fill the vacant Public Works operator position. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
will you please sign? Thanks, John. Next commissioner, we have Anna Burson at 10:15.
That's $10.
I want me.
Whomever.
Oh,
I'm just trying to build up our fund. That's really what I'm trying to do.
You can sign.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go with
We'll track him down.
man. What was the airplane with child? I got mine on silent, so it would just kind of buzz.
Yeah.
Well, at home, we're behind Manhattan. Now we've passed Manhattan. All right.
Actually, that makes sense.
Not really. I thought we were supposed to get less our way. It was mainly south and west. It seemed like the one was going, so. But my real rain gauge will check the accuracy of this thing. Yeah, I'm at home. I could see that it was raining.
Yeah. It felt like rain this morning coming out of the house.
Like I told Greg, I didn't realize it was supposed to be some rainy. I'm busy. all
There's a
night
chance
last night.
tomorrow and there's a chance on Saturday too.
I think Sunday's the only day there's not really a
Yeah.
chance and a bunch of chances after
And it
that.
stays somewhat cool.
And what mine showed, this.
End of next week, we get up in the 90s and we'll probably stay there till fall.
It's got a dark spot on it. I just didn't
Oh,
know if
really?
anybody's reported it. Yes, it's brand. I mean, I thought this was brand new, but
It wasn't like that when I left.
John was the last one to use it, as I remember.
I just got up here and I'm like, ooh, that's not supposed to be that way.
I'll report that John broke some monitors.
You're reporting it, therefore it is gone.
Thank you.
Obviously, John's just mad because it's not a touch screen.
Ready, commissioners? Yeah.
All right, good morning, commissioners. Anna Burson with the appraiser's office. Here to do, I'm doing the June report since I am out next week and the week after at conference. So on ag use, we had 9 ag sales so far to date, 154 ag properties and 95 farm home sites are all due for their reinspection. The maps, the agricultural use maps were mailed on May 15th, asking property owners to have those back to us by July 1st, just to ensure that they maintain their agricultural use for the valuation purposes. Our support team, personal property notices were mailed out by the statutory requirement of May 1st. Completed our personal property and oil and gas certification to the clerk's office. Well ahead, June 1st is a statutory deadline, and we had that done, I think, sometime last week. We're currently conducting entry quality control on all residential inspections. Also maintaining all of those work files, assisting with the scanning and processing of all those ag maps that we send out. So those come back and we have a process in place and they're helping with that. On the residential side, let me just slide this down. There was approximately 309 residential sales to date for 26. Median sale price is right around $265,000 and the average sale price is $307,849. Our current median ratio valuation to sale price is right around 96%. There are approximately 170 new permits for 26, which includes 21 new dwellings and other rechecks from the prior years. Our team is working through the 26 sales inspections, annual reinspection. Informal appeals were completed and we're preparing for small claims hearings relating to the 2026 tax year. We've held a few payment under protest hearings relating to 2025 or prior years. The commercial team, we've had 18 commercial sales, which include 3 exempt properties, roughly 8 new commercial building permits for 26, along with other miscellaneous permits and rechecks from 2025. Inspections continue for properties that are due for their annual reinspection. They are also holding those payment under protest hearings and preparing for the Board of Tax Appeals hearings. So just a quick summary of kind of by tax year. I thought it'd be good just so you could kind of see just the history on appeals by tax year. Definitely 23 was a big year. But again, the residential, so we have the total appeals for all classes, and then just how the residential stacks up against the total. So residential is typically the predominant count.
But again, I just kind of wanted to show you year over year. I went back to 18 because that was prior to COVID. And that's just kind of why I chose 18 on this presentation. Additionally, Board of Tax Appeals hearings, as you can see, 26 is getting added to this list. So we shrunk it and now it's growing again. This hearing right here goes all the way back to 2020. This is one of our biggest ones. We're ready to get this off the books, hoping and pushing to not allow for another continuance or reschedule. So we're working with our attorney just to make sure that if that request comes, we can adamantly, hopefully, avoid it since it continues to happen. Additionally, the next slide is going to be our exemptions to date. There's a couple changes. That City of Manhattan, Douglas, that came off in April. Since we didn't have a May update, I'm giving that to you now. So that one is now off. The rest of these are pending. So New Hope Community Church. There's 2 properties they recently purchased, the AIB building, and then Ascension Via Christi, which is the Child Care Accelerator. If you have additional questions as to the recommendations, I'd be happy to have those conversations at any time. So those are all pending. So here's kind of a summary of change after certification. Now, the one thing to always know is if we get a BOTA order or a decision on an exemption, the comparison is going to change, the numbers are going to shift. Otherwise, this is what we certified. So for personal property value comparison between 25 and 26, there's a 16% reduction in appraised and an 11% reduction in the assessed. As you can see in this graph, the biggest shift is all watercraft became exempt. All watercraft or marine type equipment, the trailers that pull the watercraft, all of that came off. And then on the personal property side, a large portion of personal property being any like non-highway vehicles, those all came off as well. So you only see an 11% reduction in the assessed because the watercraft only had a 5% assessment rate. So while that was a big appraised number, it had a much lower assessed value. So again, it's a $938,054 assessed value reduction in personal property between 25 and 26. The biggest portion of that is the impact from House Bill 2231. We did have some other areas that went up, things that continue to, it's kind of unusual, but have higher value, big trucks, things like that. Some of that will increase. We had a lot more trucks come on too. But the thing with personal property is it can be abated on and off, except for mobile homes. And so it can change. In October, we kind of do a mid-year kind of a recertification to the clerk. So there could be some numbers from things that got added and abated between certification and then. So this is just an important thing to pay attention to. On the real estate side, real property, we've seen a total of 3.2% increase in the appraised value. The assessed value is up 5.82%. And when you look at those areas of increase, residential and commercial, commercial has a 25% assessment rate, residential has the 11.5. Seeing the non-for-profit, a lot of times what happens when a not-for-profit drops like that is it either went exempt or potentially commercial. And so that can happen. But really the overall assessed valuation increase was that $47,515,394. And this is just breaking down by the classifications where that change came from. Other projects. So things that are kind of going on, staff update. I'm going to have a request to refill an unplanned vacancy position here in a minute. So we do have an open position. Some legislative changes. Again, we're just kind of monitoring. There was one change. We just have to see how the state plans to implement that, and we'll have to just kind of deal with the impact. Kind of while I'm on that too, just for commissioners' awareness, since we did our budget presentations, and I brought up that we were looking to change our navigation software, and we had a plan for that. Right now, the state has not committed to what statewide system we're going to use for valuation. And so with that being up in the air, they're not even discussing it until after elections. And so until there's a decision made on what direction the state is going, because our current Orion system is no longer going to be the system that we can use. I think it's 2030, 29 or 30. So there's going to be a migration to a different system. So we're putting the pause on making any application changes, even though we need something that will work for us. We're kind of finding a way to, I guess you could say, baby us along until we know what system we're going to be working with. We don't want to use taxpayer money to invest in a program that in the long run, we're going to have to reinvest in something different in 3 years. And so until we get some confirmation what the state's going to do, we put the pause. So just to know that. One thing that we do that a lot of people aren't aware is we assist with storm damage assessment. I was unaware until I started here and got that phone call that first month on the job. It's a great benefit of having the appraisers assist just because of the familiarity we have with the properties. So we work in conjunction with emergency management and our GIS department. I really just want to shout out to, Steve and our team, Jake with GIS and his team, Lori with emergency management and her team. It's been a huge collaborative effort to get a system in place that will help us in the event of a disaster striking Riley County. And we have to respond to help with that storm damage assessment. But we just had that training this last month, just kind of a check-in, check all the systems, what's working, what's not, did a little walkthrough over at the new EM training centers where we held that, walked around that area, just did some testing of it. And so it's been a process, and we're glad it's working, and we're going to keep making sure it does so we can be as prepared as we need to if that happens. Just so you are aware, time off in June. So I will be gone next week. I'm just taking time off for a week. And then that week after, Steve Allen and I will be attending the KCAA conference in Pittsburgh. So you're aware. While we're at the KCAA conference, we're still reachable by email. And so certainly if you need anything next week, just feel free to reach out. If it's an emergency, you can call my cell. Otherwise, I'm going to leave it to Steve. So you can reach out to Steve if you have questions. Let's see here. Was there anything else? So that's about it on the staff update. Did you have any questions on that? Concerns, thoughts? Okay. Before I move on, sorry, I did have one note I wanted to touch on the assessed value change. It's really important as you get into that budget season right now, just to remember that even though we had an increase in the assessed value of $47,515,000, we have over 18.9 million in pending exemptions. And so we really just need to keep that in mind as we're preparing those budgets, because that could come off, and then anything pending at BODA as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there and make sure we are continuing to think about that. Next. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we good to go ahead and start on the next one? Okay, perfect. I'm coming with the request to refill residential appraiser 1 position. As I shared in my update, this position unexpectedly became vacant on May 1st. It's essential to maintaining our daily operations with the residential department. The vacancy did create a staffing gap that does impact our operations. So I am requesting permission to fill this position as a residential appraiser 1. This is an entry-level position. It's intended for an individual that's really willing to learn and looking for a career with growth opportunities. And really committed to completing that necessary training. Again, it's critical to our continued operation in our office, and my recommendation would be to refill the position at the earliest opportunity. There's no fiscal impact. It's already budgeted as an appraiser 1. So I stand for questions.
You said it came open on May 1st?
May 4th. May 4th.
Why are we waiting almost a month to potentially refill it?
It was the availability. We were in the middle of hearings, and I had to close out those hearings.
Gotcha.
It's my availability to get it before you. So yes, we've had a gap and I got it for you as quickly as I could.
Anything else?
I was just curious in the timeline.
Okay.
Well, I'd move to approve refilling the appraiser one residential position at the earliest opportunity.
I'll say it.
Is it moved and seconded to approve refilling the appraiser one residential position at the earliest opportunity? All in favor?
Will you please sign?
Thank you, Commissioners.
Michelle.
Michelle, yeah, she forgot it. Whatever,
I think you can catch up to her.
hopefully.
How's Amanda? Good.
You got him.
How's it going?
Good. Fishing, but I played some golf this weekend. I guess I did do some fishing. I fished Friday after work.
Any good?
Nope.
Well, you gotta come over to my house, the creek back there, there's some big fish.
Is there really?
Look around, I don't know what they are, but
Okay.
nobody ever fishes there.
Okay.
Or it's private property.
Right.
You're welcome to come.
I appreciate that. I'll do that.
There's something out there that's big,
Maybe it's a
I'll look and
snake.
See what it is.
yeah.
Well, you catch some big bass in those creeks. My son did that up in Mill Creek all the time. You'd be surprised how big
Could be.
largemouth get up in there.
They'll get out off the beaten path and get up in those things.
Just find those deep holes and
Well, I think there's some springs out there on it, and so they're active in that.
water gets high, they go up in there and stay up in there. It's my son used, to do all the time.
No, there's an egret that comes over to my place, so it's gotta be little minnows floating around somewhere. Really need to see that.
Thanks.
Getting any sleep?
Asleep. Little one has RSV.
What's that?
Littlest one has RSV.
Oh, no.
It's not the actual, just had a fever break. Not yesterday, but the night.
That is no fun at all at that age. No fun. Sleep's really overrated, Michael. Aren't you glad caffeine invented.
Very much so.
At your age and what you're going through, you start to understand why we gray.
I don't have to worry about that.
Now you got a little there. It'll gray out.
Yeah.
What's Doug doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
More rain.
I'll take it.
I mean, no fire for you guys.
Not today.
Yes.
Better take it while we can get it.
Yeah.
We'll be wondering where it's at in August.
Seen somebody said they're setting up for some pretty good stuff in June, the first couple weeks of June, some stuff moving in, so
More rain?
more rain.
Well, that's what everyone forgets. And you probably remember though, the 93 flood, the rains didn't start till June 1.
Right.
Everyone
Yeah.
thinks we're past that, 93 flood, rains didn't start till June 1.
Well,
And it just didn't quit raining.
I was gonna say, I think it was closer to May, wasn't it?
It was very end of May, beginning of June.
Yeah.
When everything started.
I remember Memorial Day that weekend, it was nothing but rain. Same thing in 19 too, for the
Well,
matter.
exactly. I mean, just like 19, I mean, we had those nice rains and it just kept going.
But the thing about 93 though, is they had a ton of snow up north.
Combination, ton
Yeah.
of snow up north plus heavy rains up
Yeah.
north and here.
Uh,
And the thing is, the rains weren't only north, it was west also, so we had all that coming too.
That topography kind of goes to the southeast.
From both
Elevation.
rivers,
Yeah. There was nowhere for it to go.
Oh, it was going there. They just didn't like where it was going.
Sure.
There's no stopping it.
What was it? There was a gentleman or something who had gotten divorced, and
that?
there was a gentleman just on the east side of Mississippi at St. Louis or something, had gotten divorced and decided to cut the entire levee system there that was on their property. And that's where it floated at. Just to get back at his ex-wife.
What?
Oops.
Definitely, I'm sure there's some legal.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, he spent some time in jail apparently over that, and that's probably justified.
But you know what? He made his statement, I guess. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
They lose some hair, huh?
No, it's not.
Might be running a little late.
Even with the rain.
Wait, I wonder if she forgot since she just had her budget presentation not too long ago.
I don't think she's been here. She knows we're back here.
Yeah, I just think she thinks, well, I've already been.
We scheduled those at the same time quarterly, right?
Of course, depends on what we're
Yeah.
scheduling. Yeah.
Budgeting probably knocked out a couple of them. I know the chambers at the same time, and Bonnie usually is too.
Oh, I was just, this is,
Mhm.
but my calendar's messed up.
Uh-huh.
That was
That's
this
what I
day.
kind of wonder, so she's always very good.
Yeah.
I'm betting that's probably what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there was nothing, and all of a sudden it was there, and then there was bolts on top. So when you take them, I have to take that up to, no. Yeah. The supermarket closes at 8 and it's actually everything getting out of there. I'm assuming I don't know much about so cleaning, I don't know what goes into it. I don't know. And it is grant from court, yeah. But.
Doug storm weather guy, agricultural guy. Brother-in-law sent me this picture today. From Ben Sudbury Lightning. Something, have you seen that? I've heard of it. Very unlucky right there. Yeah, no doubt. Looks like we got another break. Yeah. Gotta go around the south side of the building.
Ask you how was the legislative luncheon on Thursday last week?
Oh, it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any earth shattering news?
No, actually,
What was
there,
saying?
maybe there was like 6 questions, numerous items, and yeah, it was worth attending. It was informative, but yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
It was just Representatives Carlin and Steele, and Senators Titus and Stones.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Do we need a motion? Rich, do we need a motion for public hearing? or-
We will, no, you just open it. You don't need a motion. You as the chair can just open it.
Yeah, after
You can
Amanda?
do it at the very beginning if you want, or you can do it after Amanda starts out.
And if you want to set time limits or anything like that, you're allowed to do that if you want to.
We have that process, we have that.
Yeah, I mean,
requirement.
I mean, we do during public comment, but this is public hearing, so if you want to set a time frame, you can do so, or if you just want to let everybody go as long as they need to go, then that's fine too. However you want to do it, just do it equally.
Do you want, what, are we gonna do, what would you all like to do? To open the hearing now or after Amanda?
Well, I do it now.
Okay, well, we will be opening the public hearing now and people that wish to speak, I'd say a maximum of 5 minutes. You don't have to speak for that long, but a max of 5 minutes per speaker.
And they need to state their name.
And state your name and address when you get up to speak.
Current address.
Current, address, yeah. And but we'll start with Amanda.
All right. Good morning, commissioners. Good morning, everyone. Amanda Webb, planning. Bless you. I'm here on behalf of the NG 911 committee, and I do have a couple of members of my committee who would like to speak too. So I don't know if we want to do that as part of my intro, or if you want to do that after the, after the residents have spoken. Whichever you'd like to do. I'm just going to give a really quick background. I want to give time to everybody else. So we're here I have the map in front of you to talk about naming and renumbering properties along this roadway off of Anderson Avenue. Hopefully you can kind of see the mouse there. There are 4 properties along that roadway that currently have homes on them. They are currently addressed off of Anderson Avenue. And again, that spur, if you want to call it that serves all of their homes. Under our definition, it's 2 or more properties being served. So it is a private road. It's not just a driveway. So we're here to talk about, and have the public hearing to discuss naming it to Anderson Lane, and then renumbering all of the addresses along the roadway that have current homes on them, so they can match the 911 address grid system. 2020, we had this proposal before you folks. Well, you were here. There was a couple others in your seats. So Commissioner Ford, you might remember a little bit about this.
I do.
But we talked about it since then with this whole board. 2020, we brought, same process, same proposal from the NG 911 committee to name the roadway and renumber. The residents expressed concern at that time. They were in agreement to rename or name the road Anderson Lane, but they had concerns with renumbering. So at the time, that board decided, okay, let's just name the road, but not renumber. And the committee felt that didn't really solve the problem. So ultimately, it was put aside while we proceeded with we have a lengthy list that we've been working on for about a decade, and we had other ones that we were working on. This has come back before you, dispatch and emergency services, again, who you'll hear from, state that these are still issues for emergency services. So this has risen to the top again. Again, we spoke with you folks last year and you were in support to hear this again. So that's why we are back before you. We do have several members of residents who live along that road here this morning. And I did include in your packet written comments that they had provided to me during the notification period, in advance of this in case they weren't able to be here today. So all of that information's in your packet. There's a lot of information in it, of course. There is a lot to this, a lot of background. So I'm gonna, unless you have any quick questions for me to start, I'm gonna step aside and let Tyler come chat, and then Doug and Sherry are also going to talk about their pieces to it. So does that work okay? Okay, thank you.
My name is Tyler Seepkes. I'm the Communications Center Manager from the Dispatch Center at the Riley County Police Department. I wanted to just provide everybody a little bit of perspective, both citizens and the commission, about this topic with these driveways and private roadways, and kind of how the dispatch process works, and then my thoughts on it. First, I want to say that, especially to the citizens and the board, that I completely empathize with the logistical issues that this would cause. That is certainly not lost on me. However, my main focus as the dispatch manager has to be public safety and the efficiency of response of emergency services. The screenshot, and I could have probably brought several, but I just brought one to try to give you a perspective of what we see in the dispatch center when we add a call for service. And so this would be this area that we're talking about here. This screenshot is directly from our computer aided dispatch map. So when we add a call for service, and I just chose one of the northernmost properties on this driveway in question, this is how it appears on our computer aided dispatch system. Adding a call at any one of these 4 properties is not an issue right now. We have address points, and it plots appropriately on the map. The issue for responders and for dispatchers, and the potential issue could be that there is no current roadway on the map itself. So if you're an officer responding to a call here, and I always kind of just go to worst case scenario, think of a cardiac arrest or any other in progress crime or anything like that. There's going to be some confusion, and I've spoken to some officers that would think that this was an error, a plotting error on the map, because it does not show an entrance into this area in the county. The other reason I like this screenshot is because it does also include a little bit to the west, the Hidden Valley area, which is another one of the projects that the NG 911 committee worked on, which it clearly shows with all the properties. If I had the address points there, you would see all the dots of the properties around the Hidden Valley Trail and Hidden Valley Lane that did also go through this process and now have a clear roadway on this map. So this kind of shows the difference of what it is now and what it could be with the changes that the committee is proposing. I understand, again, signage could help and all of that, but to keep everything consistent and to provide the best efficient response for everybody, I'm in full support of the recommended changes. I've been in dispatch before when officers and other responders have needed step-by-step instructions from dispatch on how to get into certain areas like this. I recall one from the Johnson Drive, which we also had a rename on I believe now it's Johnson Trail, of a cardiac arrest where we had to provide step-by-step. We send officers to those types of calls so they can get there. Usually, since they're mobile, they can get there first and begin providing life-saving CPR. And we had to direct them in step-by-step, turn by turn, because at that time, Johnson Trail was not on the map. It looked similar to this. So that takes time. That takes, for minimum staffing and dispatch, that radio traffic is just very difficult to get to if we're at minimum staffing. So hopefully this provides some context from what we see on our side in dispatch. This map also is what officers see out in their vehicles. So that's why I wanted to bring that in here today. So those are my thoughts. I appreciate it very much.
Commission, Doug Russell, Riley County Fire District, Deputy Chief of Operations. Just some of the fire concerns, and from the emergency services side. The address, again, like Tyler said, doesn't show up well. So it takes an added step as a responding either chief or station to, hey, on the radio, we're dropping a cone here. You guys need to follow this cone in. Here's where you need to go. There's already a lot of radio traffic. Worst case scenario, respiratory, cardiac arrest, structure fire. And we had one of those where we had a structure fire. We have to stop, put a cone out, put a vest out, something to designate the road. The responding station, primary station is 104. We have a lot of longstanding members, a 50-year member, and myself. We know where the road's at. We understand that. But there is younger members at other stations that we have respond that come in, and it could get missed in that minute or two of passing the driveway or whatever sort it is. Could be the time that they need to get on the scene and get water on the fire or start life safety measures of any sort. And we don't want that. We want it to be consistent. And like Tyler said, the Hidden Valley Trail and stuff like that made a big difference for us responding. We know where those addresses are. That's all on the map. They're all addressed. I do sympathize. I understand the difference in changing information. I recently built a house, and so I understand the time at the post office and all that stuff. But if we just change Anderson Lane, it's only changing part of the problem. We still have to change that. They still have to change and go do all that paperwork. We want to be consistent. And we're trying to get to that point. So that's what I have from the emergency services side.
I have a question. Maybe this is to Amanda. As I look at, and this may be a dumb question, but why aren't the addresses listed on this map that people see now with the addresses they have now? Yeah, or how do you get the naming on? Yeah, I look at this road and I can see the confusion, but.
So are you talking specific to the map that Tyler has?
Yeah, the dispatch has, and why the roads weren't put on there, on that computer.
So why it's not currently on there is because it is not a known road for Google or anything like that. It's just a driveway. So there's no driveways that really get put on their mapping. It's roadways that get put on. So it's not a recognized road for them right now.
And we can't do just that.
No, it has to be a recognized, and that could be a Sherry question. It's got to be for them to notice it. It's got to be a recognized roadway for them to put it on there.
It's on Google.
It's on Apple and Google. So I don't know what, I mean, I
Hey,
understand.
sir.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna wait till you're called on by the chair, and then everyone will need to go to the podium when you do, okay?
And some of them do get recognized. They get recognized on the mapping stuff, but for the CAD side, it is just a driveway. It is not an actual roadway.
Mission, Sherry Taylor, GIS. I do the address assignment for the county and submit it to NextGen 911. Everything that was in your packet, I provided to Amanda. So if you have any questions on how addressing is done, I can answer those.
That's actually was going to be my question.
Yeah. So
I think he might have mentioned it back in 2020, but that was 6 years ago.
So Anderson Lane is considered mainly an east-west road. And the north side of Anderson are all even addresses, south side is odd. Any intersecting road then is north-south. The east side of a north-south road is even, the west side is odd. So as far as the numbering, and then there's a grid that every road falls within this grid and then it's addressed off of that. So if we change this to a road name of Anderson Lane, the grid is totally different from what it is on Anderson Avenue because it's considered a north-south road, not east-west.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Well, I'm drive down a city street. You're over here. It's even over there. It's odd. I mean,
yeah.
I'm just kind of curious why it wasn't set up that way before. But
Why, what wasn't set up before?
Is it a road or a driveway? Because I'm
It's
hearing
just a
two.
driveway. It's a
Okay.
private drive.
Okay.
And so when we got on the state's Next Gen 911, they promote not having multiple houses on private drives because it creates a nightmare in the dispatch because there is no road. Like it's not recognized as a road. So we have created a list that Amanda's been working on for the last, like she said, decade. It's a big list. There's like 50 private drives that have multiple houses on them. And we're just slowly picking through them. And Next Gen, requires that you have a grid and each address is assigned an ID that matches the road segment that also has an ID, and that all has to match up or it won't geocode for dispatch. So if you start messing with the state's Next Gen 911 system, then the geocoding doesn't work.
I know different locations have been working on this because I've noticed the few roads off the interstate are now named.
Yeah, that Durain Trail and
There's
same
one
thing.
up
There
by
isn't even a house on
County,
there.
it's the same thing.
Yeah. So any other questions about addressing? Okay.
Wrap up our intro quickly before we get to hearing from our members of the public. Did you have any other questions for us before we hear from folks? Our recommendation, I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Our recommendation is to name and renumber, in the attempts to solve the public emergency situation. So thank you.
Okay, we can have public comment now from the resident.
Okay.
If you'd like to go to the podium and state your name and your address. Current address.
Thank you. Current address.
Yeah.
Well, I'll refer to it as Anderson Lane. And we're happy to make that change. I just want to start by saying I have tremendous respect for those of you that take care of us. We've had needs out there, medical, and Doug, I know you've taken care of us when we've had fires. We recently, I think it's been a few years, but we had a fire from Cobra Hills come across pasture, and we had city and county fire out there. Responded extremely well. And so thank you for what you do. And I also, from a public service standpoint, thank you for hearing us today and for all that you do for our community. We love this place. My name is Nathan Mead. My wife, Kaylin, is sitting here. I'm from Southwest Kansas. Came here to K-State in the 90s, met my wife. We moved away. We worked different places, moved back here in 2003, lived in town until 2010 and bought the property that we're talking about today. Had 3 teenagers that went through school at Riley County, served 7 years on the Riley County School Board. So we definitely appreciate all that you get to deal with from public comment on all sides of all issues. So again, thank you for what you do. We've lived there since 2010. We've got great neighbors that have lived there longer than us. We're very thankful for kind of the community that we have there. And I think what caught us by surprise is we understood back in 2020 that we would change to Anderson Lane. So when we got the letter, we were just surprised that we'd had an agreement and that had changed. We also just noticed, and I think Mark's going to talk about it a little more in the letter, that we're referring to emergency response, and I appreciate the comments. They're helpful to hear, but we've had great response and no knowledge that there's been a problem. I mean, we've seen people show up. Now, the background that was shared, and if there's challenges before you get there, I certainly respect that. But I guess my one question would be if the map was helpful today and there's not a road, I mean, we're not here to talk about putting a road on a software, right? So I don't know why we can't draw the driveway even with the current addresses. So I'd love to know how changing our numbers and the driveway name will change the software picture there, because ultimately we're not going to move the houses, right? So we're going to have to draw a line on the software. Just To also mention a few things, we have very clear signage. If you look, and Mark's going to share some pictures, we're happy to make that even better. So if there was anything you needed from a physical signage standpoint, we would do that at the cost of we would take care of it. No burden to the county. I mean, we can add names, we can make it bigger, we can change the location as long as it's legal, whatever you would prefer, we're happy to do that. We have no problems with FedEx, UPS, even commercial freight will come up to my doorway. And if you look on Google and Apple, you can find my address. It comes right to my front door today. It has the road as well as my address. So that's why it's a little surprising that we have an issue even with emergency response. And again, we just want to accommodate whatever the county would need to make sure they find our place. Also, just some considerations I think we sent by email, but with the 20-acre, rule in Riley, knowing my neighbors and the ownership of the properties on the lane, I mean, we've been there for decades. I don't expect changes. We're not going to have more houses on that driveway. So I think that's a consideration. I think I heard that our side of the street should be even numbered. Is that right?
If it changes to Anderson Lane, then the west side is odd, the east side is even.
And we're the east side.
Do you live on the?
West side.
West.
West side.
West side.
Of Anderson?
No, Anderson Lane, the lane to Anderson Lane.
Okay.
That's.
Okay. I wasn't aware of that, but we're all even numbers obviously today. Yeah, I would just appeal that when we consider all the people that know us there, all the things that would require change, that you'd really consider not changing the numbers, same agreement we had in 2020. We're happy to change the Anderson Lane to give some differentiation on that. So I'm going to yield to Mark.
I had a question. We don't have a 20-acre rule in Morton. That's been gone for quite a while.
Is that true? So you can build on less than 20 acres?
Yes.
I did not know that.
It's, I don't know, well, probably 20.
Well, we're not going to, but how recent was that? It changed away from that in 2012? Oh, well, I apologize. I was unaware.
Okay.
Many people.
I guess I'm going to develop something, Just kidding. Just kidding. I'll yield to Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, are you next?
No, I'm all right. Thank you so much for hearing us. You might need to indulge me. I've had some health issues, some low short breath sometimes. Or if you want to really make me feel good, just rule in our favor. We appreciate the role of the board. We really do. We understand the role of government predominantly is to care for and protect their citizens. And we're not a bunch of, we don't want to be found on the grid weirdos or anything. We're just we want to represent our case as best we can. We think it's a good one. But we believe that the primary role of this board in this matter is the safety of the residents. And I think it will agree with that. And I would say that we understand the need for government regulation. You shouldn't be able to park by a fire hydrant. There's a safety reason for that. But we also think that sometimes regulation can be done as a matter of convenience or somewhat arbitrary, just because it simplifies things. We learned yesterday, I don't know with what degree of certainty, but that what we believe now is that if our road had 3 homes, we would be exempt because it's not enough. Well, we have 4. That's not the case. Well, I thought I heard Amanda say something about 2. What, 2? Okay, well, we'll knock down a couple of the houses maybe. But the point is, picking that number, 2, 3, 4, it's an arbitrary number. Now, there's a time
I mean, you always have to pick a number. We understand that. But we think that we can make a good case that in this particular case, 4 is not excessive. I do want to raise a couple of issues with the letters that we got, keeping in mind all the way through this that our goal is safety. And so as I look back at the letters, but here is from the April 6th letter. It said that looking back to 2000, that it was decided that naming the road alone would not fix the problem because the current addresses don't fix the modern address system. Because of that, the county commissioners chose not to move forward and the proposal was set aside. I wish I had done a better job and checked to see if the minutes from that meeting were available. I assure you, all 4 residents walked out of here believing it was a fait accompli. We were done, that we had been approved. And I think the Anderson Lane thing took us about 6 seconds to agree to. That's just wonderful because we kind of get to keep that little heritage thing. But in no way did we have any clue that there was anything tentative or uncertain or unpermanent about that. I did start to worry a few years ago when the county did not put up a street sign. And I thought, maybe I'll put up a street sign, you know, but I didn't. But the point is that much of what's already been said is relevant to not being able to find the street. We are happy to have a poll that predominantly illustrates that we're looking at a different street name. But it's the numbers, of course, that are at issue. Then, if I look back at that letter in 2020, it said that those recommendations, before we had our meeting, involved the following steps. 1, eliminating duplicate road or street signs. Well, it's not a duplicate. And we had a new street sign, so we were amenable to that. Naming previously unnamed public or private roads. Again, Anderson Lane, very, very, very amenable to that. Then 3rd, assigning new addresses based on the new road sign. I feel like we made a pretty compelling argument 6 years ago that it would work as it was. And we all want to be safe in an emergency, but I think we can demonstrate that we are. It says in this letter somewhere, here it is. This is now from April of this year. Emergency responders continue to have trouble finding this road and the homes along it. I would like to parse that sentence more objectively. I would say if they're having trouble finding the road, it's because we have yet to have a street sign there, a road sign. Well, I understand if you're driving down Anderson and there's no road sign that says Anderson Lane. You know, now you can go by Google and or history, you know, people know. But I don't believe that it's fair to say responders can't find the road, and therefore we need to change the numbers. So we're amenable to the road, obviously. We have had, we could recall maybe 5 emergencies, a brush fire or something, one of them from the golf course and so forth. We've not had any problems with delays since this 6 years ago. We had one case where the emergency people got there and they couldn't get to the resident because there was a tree laying across his driveway. Well, that's That's a dendrology problem, not a geography problem. They
Sir.
got, yes, ma'am?
Sorry, you've had more than 5 minutes. Does the board want to let him go on for longer?
Just make a quick summary.
Ma'am, I've put a
Okay.
lot into this, so I'll go real fast.
Okay.
But I really were, and I'm taking longer because it takes me longer to get it out.
For you.
But the point is, we've had, we think, 5 emergency runs, and it's never been a problem to find the place. So let's do this. My wife will pass out. We made pictures of the signs we put up with the numbers that we think answer quite clearly. As Nathan said, we would do more if necessary. I think there's only 3 sets that have the addresses out at the Anderson. I think, okay, are you guys the 3 commissioners? Great. I'm sorry I don't have the one. I didn't make enough of the one at the street. But all the rest of them, there's extra copies, honey, for these.
I think so.
Okay, there you go, pass them around. So what you have is the street, the one at the street with arrows that say go this way. And then you have individual signs at the driveway of these 4 residents. And we would argue that that's sufficient. They're not hard to see. They would be hard to miss. Lastly, I would just simply say that regulation, is important, and you guys have a job to do, but sometimes human considerations come into play. Me's have been there 16 years, Troyer 38, Manny's 35, we've been there 28. We've started a family roofing business there 27 years ago. Our grandchild, 3rd generation, refers to our home as 5,500. And so none of that matters to you guys. I understand that. Those are personal interests. But I would say that we are willing to do whatever this board would ask us to do at our expense to make us findable at the easiest possible way. But we would also ask you to, I think tomorrow, it won't matter to you guys personally too much, whether I'm 5,500 or 2,205, but it would make a big difference to us. And so we're just asking you for that extra consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. If you would state your name and address.
I'm Joyce Troyer, and I live on 5524 Anderson. And I'm a little emotional today. Because a first responder did make it to my nephew's house. Along with all that's been said, I have a personal concern, and I'm 76. My husband's 80. We have a 93-year-old that lives on this driveway. And changing addresses requires a lot of work. And as it was stated, we lived there 38 years. Manny's 35, Weddle's 28, and Mead's 16. And at the last meeting, Natalia was very adamant that we keep the numbers the same for us older people that have to remember our addresses. And Natalia couldn't be here today, and her sister, who is the executor of her mother, who is 93, and her mother lives at 5514 Anderson Lane. Most or all of you know that my mother, Monta Manny, lives at 5514 Anderson Avenue, or Anderson Lane, with my sister Ruth as her caregiver. My father died in 2024. My sister Namaste and I have power of attorney to my mother's affairs. Since I live in Spain and Namaste lives in Washington State, neither of us could attend this meeting. And then she goes on to say, if we change the house number from 5514, how many agencies that my mom has to deal with would still find her Social Security, the hospice, on and on. I'm concerned with that family that lives at 5514. I'm concerned about us with all we would have to change from driver's license, passport, my voter registration. Would I be able to vote in August? Let's see, I had down in 1995, we had a fire at our place and they made it to our house really quick and they saved our house. And in 1995, we had signs made that were very similar to the ones that you have in front of you. And in fact, the old ones were just taken down to put up the new ones. And those signs were there because the fire chief at the time, Jim Goff, had a grant and we put up the signs and I don't know of anybody who's had trouble finding us because those signs were just like the ones that we have in the pictures. One of them had faded a little bit and then we had a sign at the end of the driveway. However, the numbers went up and down and it was a little confusing. And so we took it down. Last year, I had a medical emergency and my husband called 911. They got there in less than 5 minutes and there was no problem finding our place. And ours is the last one on Anderson Lane. We've had several fires and they haven't had any trouble. I am concerned when I saw that one picture why our driveway wasn't on there, why Anderson Lane couldn't be on there when it's on Google. And the numbering, I don't understand why we would have to change the numbering. I'm asking you to leave as is. Questions?
I don't have it.
Okay, thank you.
Actually, if any of you picked up Google and put in my address, it'll pop right up.
Anyone else from the community that would like to speak? Seeing none, we have close the public hearing. We'll have discussion.
We'll go home to Anderson Lane.
Looking forward to be discussing it.
Yeah. No, you can stay here. Yeah. You just can't speak at this point in time. You're good. You're good. I would.
Just super quick, and I don't know if Tyler, Doug, or Sherry, if any of you had anything more to say. But we of course do appreciate y'all being here in your comments and working with us and understanding. As I did mention, we do recommend naming and renumbering going together. It doesn't really work if we do one without the other. So if you don't want to do the whole thing and you do want to approach, a signage sort of thing, what the committee asks, if we go that route, to come up with some requirement. I know you folks just kind of put the signage on there and I haven't seen it yet. But what we would ask is if we can just kind of come up with an agreement, for lack of a better word, some requirements, just so if that is the route we go, there it's maintained properly, and because again, we just want to be able to make sure we can find folks. So again, if that's the route you folks decide to do, that's what we would ask, that we would have some sort of agreement, some sort of requirements for what the signage should look like, and an agreement in place that it would be maintained. So, but again, I do want to reiterate, the committee does strongly recommend readdressing and naming. But I did want to put that out there, that we talked about if you folks wanted to go that route. Another quick note, and Doug did kind of mention it, if we do change just to Anderson Lane, you would still have to change your addresses with the post office. So because it's still a change. So just a note with that too. So any other questions for me or any of my colleagues?
I have another question. It looks like we just need to get it on the grid for our emergency people and just doing a road name change, wouldn't that fix it without changing all the numbers?
I'll let my colleagues speak to that, but
Okay.
again, the concern, if we name the road, as Sherry pointed out, the addresses, they're addressed off east-west right now because they're addressed off of Anderson Avenue. If we name the road Anderson Lane, those numbers that they have currently don't fit that at all. So it's not going to fully take care of the situation because it's still not going to fit in the grid properly. So I don't know if any of you want to add to those comments. So. Other questions for me or my colleagues?
Amanda, maybe could you elaborate on why it has to go through this process in order for the road to appear on the emergency services map?
Actually, I will ask Doug or Tyler to speak to that. It's my understanding it's because basically it's a driveway right now, and we don't show driveways, or they don't show driveways on those maps.
Yeah, so it's just not recognized, and it is on Google. It is on Google as Anderson Lane. And you can go in there and suggest those changes, and Google might accept them, they might not. So it does show up on there, but their address, so if they would call and say 5500 Anderson Lane right now, it would confuse Tyler's system. It wouldn't know what to do right now because it's not recognized as in that as such. So that's why it's the problem right now. Is it does show up there, but it is not an address. It is just a name that was given to that road, suggestion to it.
So would it be accurate to say that items such as like FedEx, UPS, USPS, they maybe use a system similar to Google,
They're probably
whereas
yes,
your system as emergency management services does not use that?
that's correct. Because the CAD system thinks it's just a driveway because it wasn't actually given. We haven't told it that this is a road. This is just an address. This is just address points that we're giving it. It's not a true recognized road. And Sherry can elaborate more on that.
So on Google Maps, Rich could go in and change the name of his road on Google Maps if he wanted to. Google Maps has no rules. Anybody can change anything. And so I'm assuming someone that lived out there went in and named it Anderson Avenue or Anderson Lane. We don't recognize that because it's not gone through the resolution process. It hasn't been submitted to everyone that gets a copy of that resolution. So it's not, if they're using the address of Anderson Lane right now and they call 911, it's not a valid address because we haven't assigned an address on Anderson Lane. We haven't even adopted the road name of Anderson Lane.
Maybe we ought to do that.
Yeah.
It's the public comments over.
Oh.
He was asking to
I
comment.
just want to ask a question.
It's up to the chair. I mean,
Yeah, you
public
can ask a
comment.
question.
Well, I can't understand, why haven't you named it Anderson Lane? We agreed it 6 years ago. If you want to put a sign up, we'll throw a party. We're happy to have it here, but the fact that it doesn't say it isn't on us. The county never renamed it.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
It just kind of got set aside.
Okay, one more question.
Really, so I keep hearing driveway, it's because it's recognized, it's still gonna be a driveway, regardless of what we do, right?
right.
That's not changing.
Yeah,
So,
right.
so you must have a mechanism to make a driveway a road in your system.
We do.
Okay, so
We have a private driveway system that we have to follow a whole bunch of different steps. It can't be a repetitive name. It can't be someone's last name. It can't be vanity name, that kind of thing. And so that's what the Next Gen committee does for the private driveways.
So we could still do that with whatever name, I would assume. Add the driveway.
That's the road type on Hidden Valley, correct? Right, it was private drive.
Yeah, Hidden Valley
Hidden Valley.
Trail and Hidden Valley Lane are both private roads. They're not maintained by the county. And all of those people were readdressed because they were off of West 60th. And no one could find them.
So if we rename it, just, Anderson Lane, does that mean the county is responsible for maintaining that?
Not the road.
Not the
The
road.
county would put up a sign that says private drive Anderson Lane, but they will not maintain the road. It's not a road. It's a
Okay.
private driveway, yeah.
Anderson Lane, yeah, and then it would, if we would rename it and make a resolution to rename the road Lane, Anderson Lane, wouldn't that fix the grid problem with the EMS?
It wouldn't abide by the next gen 911 criteria, but from what I understand, you can ignore that. I mean, no one from the state's gonna come demand that it be assigned to their grid. But if we start bending the rule for one, then everyone's gonna wanna bend the rule, and before you know it, there is no rhyme or reason to the addressing. I had people come into my office and wanna assign their address by their airplane call number. Or the year their kid was born, and I'm like, that isn't how it works. There is a rhyme or reason to it.
Okay.
Well, my thoughts are address change aren't easy. I've lived in the same place for 19 years and moved 6 months ago. And yes, there was and yes, I have Social Security, Medicare, plenty of doctors. Though it wasn't that bad to do it, but I moved, your house is still the same place. I moved to a different city, different post office. That causes, although there was a few things. We moved just for Christmas, so some of our Christmas cards we didn't get until February for the address change. But it's not that onerous. And they said if you change to Anderson Lane, you're still supposed to, you still have to change the address. It's not that horrendous. It can be done. I'm not that much younger than you, Joyce.
Well, to me, this is, and I've said this before, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it was. This really isn't a logistical issue, it's a technological issue. And while many of our first responders and dispatchers may live in modern time or real time, we got to think about the future too. And future generations working in these fields are going to rely more and more on the technological aspect than just knowledge. Directions aren't given by go up to this tree, turn here, go this way. It's going to be based technologically, whether we like it or not. That's just the reality of it. And that's why we're having this discussion currently, not just here, but previously, and we'll continue to have this dialogue in the future. From my perspective, I think uniformity is necessary in this. Like it was just mentioned, if you make an exception for one, you're going to be making an exception for all, and just not going to work. So we have to have some uniformity here. I understand the concerns with the logistics of that. I'm much like Greg. I moved across the hall in the same apartment building and had to do all that as well. It's a tedious process, and those agencies, I think, make those more tedious than it needs to be quite honest, but that's a separate discussion. But I'm concerned not just about real time, but the future of this too. And we have future dispatch and future first responders and fire relying heavily on technology. The technology needs to match what they need to be able to do, or lives are at stake. One of my biggest priorities, duties, and responsibility is protect citizens, safety, so on and so forth. It's a tough challenge sometimes, even in the modern era, but that's something that you have to do, regardless if it's agreed upon or not. I don't want to get a phone call or an email saying we couldn't find a place and somebody died for whatever particular reasons, or fire burnt everything down and took everything, and maybe even made a fatality situation out of that. We've got a lot more natural disasters that are occurring these days, floods, fire, tornadoes, just wind in general. think it's appropriate to try to keep uniformity and understand all those variables, even if the logistics aren't great.
Like you said, things are changing, because I know in Riley, people used to say, oh, where do they live? Oh, they live down the street from the Smith house. Smiths haven't lived there for 20 years, but it's still the Smith house.
Well, and I've moved many times, but this is a tough one. And we all know it's tough. Yeah, I don't like technology personally, but everybody uses it, and it's, looking into the future, like Commissioner Ford said, it's important. Listening to the first responders, I think it's important to listen to them and all the residents. I mean, this is not an easy decision to make.
I would also point out that Google can be wrong, so maybe not in this particular case, but I know there was one time I was working for a moving company and we were delivering a couch and a chair, and I can't remember what the address was, but it was supposed to be up close to Blaine, and we ended up in south of Clay Center. I guess it's because people can change those addresses in real time and the pictures don't make much sense at that point in time, but those things have happened.
And Google is hard to change there, because in my neighborhood, all the streets are stone this and stone that, and stone lane and stone grass, so it's really confusing. But, somehow, my mail gets to another street that's got the same number, so it's really, it's always a challenge, and, I hate to.
I think that's why we've created technology that's specific for this line of work, because it's necessary. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Emergencies will happen, and usually it doesn't promote the best of situations. When it does happen, it becomes either disastrous at best, catastrophic in the medium, or becomes life-changing at worst. So as a commissioner, whether I'm serving my own district or 74,000 citizens alone, I want to make sure that that part's protected. And this is, for better or for worse, one of the ways to be able to do that.
Did you have any other?
I don't have anything else to add to any of my colleagues, but we're happy to answer any more questions that you might have.
Moving forward, I'm just gonna, and maybe this isn't a question, it's more of an maybe it's more of an observation, but I mean, is there a way as county that we could help in the process of them making that change, so it offsets some of the difficulties?
Well, I mean, we do coordinate, we have a member of the Postal Service on our committee, so we try to kind of communicate with them and keep them, in the loop. And it's really about also, trying to inform, the public, especially those who are going to be impacted by it, and just making sure we're here to, give information, answer questions. So if you folks do go forward with it, of course, we need to publish the resolution like we do with any of them. And then we're going to give information. Of course, you folks will get final letters, and we'll get information to the post office about the change. And so we're doing the pieces we can. Obviously, you folks or the folks affected have to, do a lot of legwork. I know that. But we're kind of doing the pieces that we can to coordinate, at least with the post office at this point.
Well, Mr. Vargo, you're in charge of elections. There was a question that came up about, can a person vote if they, they're in the process of address change? What's going to happen there?
Well, if the person is responsible and does like all the other address changes and goes and changes their voter registration, it goes through fine. But if not, everyone gets the opportunity to vote a provisional ballot if they don't show up correctly. And of course, 70% of all provisional ballots generally count if it's just for a move or something like that.
Because we're getting close to primary time and all that, so it could cause some problems. I don't know if maybe we want to, we could maybe
Still got
delay.
2 months to the next primary.
And if I'm not mistaken, part of that provisional ballot is just checking where they're actually at. And they're going to stay at the same
you
location.
update your voter registration
Right.
at that point. That's the beauty of a provisional ballot.
Or like what happens with, well, mail-in ballots, and even if they're a different address than what you have, then it will go to the provisional.
Mhm. And if I'm not mistaken too, the post usually gives you 30 or 60 days on a change of address. Maybe it's just 30. I don't remember.
No, I think it's longer than that.
It is longer than that.
McKinley would probably know.
I thought it was 6 months.
Okay.
But
But you'll get that little label on there. It says.
yeah,
not
they, yeah,
returned to
kept
sender.
giving us the
Right.
thing.
So it gives you some time. It's not like you have to do it in 24 hours or something. Post office is aware of that change and will work in a reasonable amount of time as you make those changes.
Yeah, and of course, outside of this process, we keep the clerk's office apprised of what we're doing. We keep the appraiser's office apprised of what we're doing. So we have that communication with those different departments, at least internally, but they're aware that we're going through this process.
Yeah, well, if we can solve all those issues specific to this community. Yeah, it would probably be a good change.
We've done 2 of these now, is that right?
We've done probably at least a dozen at this
Oh.
point. Yeah, we've been working on, I believe, since about 2017.
Well, I guess I was talking during my tenure, but
Oh,
fair
yeah,
enough.
since your tenure, probably 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years since we've done one,
Right.
honestly. But yeah.
Are we hearing any feedback from those that have made that change already?
We have had, I'll, be honest, we have had, at least with Johnson Trail, we had some issues with the post office. Their postal service in Kansas City, for some reason, was having trouble getting it changed from Johnson Road to Johnson Trail. But we, in the planning department, we kept, connected to them, to make that change easier. We don't really know what the issue was out there. It wasn't our local postal service, but they had a little bit of issue, but it hasn't, that got resolved within a few months and it hasn't been an issue. And I haven't heard anything from anybody since I've been here with the addresses that we've changed. Yeah.
Commissioner McKinley, did you have?
No.
Sorry if I
I was
interrupted
getting ready
you.
to say that. about the same
Okay.
thing. No.
Okay.
But I think it needs to be done.
We've done it across the board. I don't see any reason why to split with the uniformity of it. So I'm more worried about the future than I am the past or the present. So I'm not looking at it from my own opinion or perspective like that. It's more of a change that has to happen because life is changing and technology is changing for better or for worse. And starting to become like you guys. I'm not much of a fan of technology anymore, just in general. It's costly and there's so many other things with it. So, and I think the other thing that's you have to take into consideration is the advent of AI potentially in this situation too. So having a uniform stance on that, in case that doesn't work, helps in those scenarios too. Because that's one we're not gonna avoid.
Get a motion?
Well, I'd move to approve resolution 05-1826 to name private road Anderson Lane and readdress affected properties.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve resolution number 05-2826 to name a private road Anderson Lane and readdress affected properties. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Briefly sign.
So just real quick, next steps, of course, once you folks sign that, we get a copy, we'll get that published, so it becomes actually effective. We'll get information, final letters to you folks, and we're gonna get some information to the post office as well, so. Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you. Oh, did you need the pictures back?
If you don't want to, we'll take them.
Okay.
If you want
Well, I might be a good memory at this point. Sorry.
I'd seen those.
Just like
I
when I
took that road and I'd seen some. Yeah.
Okay, we'll make sure that gets taken care of.
But my point is, much of the argument was based on there's no way to find it. It's not on your map, it's but there, didn't put up a sign. Yes. So it's
Well,
done what we did.
we need to get that done correctly, so we'll do it.
You need to think about that for the future too.
This has been a very tough decision, though. Oh, an easy one.
Oh, thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Don't look like that. I don't say anything, nobody was here for us.
So, you understand what resolution,
I think if I remember right too, we kind of put that on hold because they have in a COVID. Yeah, I think we had that conversation.
If that was, what year was that?
2020.
Yeah, that probably was
Yeah.
COVID problem. Kind of. Stand still.
I wasn't on the board, but I was just meeting,
Yeah, okay.
observing.
Oh. You know, I'm ready to throw my phone away today. It changed my alarm this morning. I don't know how I woke up to it. Somehow decided I was gonna play a song instead of an alarm.
Was it a good song?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe bad.
I
Well, it woke me up,
I
but
tried to make a phone call yesterday morning, the phone wasn't working. And started looking through it, it hadn't been working since Sunday, so I had a good weekend.
I do that quite often. I'll turn my phone off and then I'll forget to turn it back
Yeah.
on. And I'll get correspondence. I'm sorry. Maybe subconsciously I do that on purpose. I don't think so.
maybe not. Well, do we have any other business?
No.
No. Let's see. Let's see, public hearings closed, so we just need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn the May 28th meeting of Riley County Commission.
Been moved and seconded to adjourn the May 28th meeting of the Riley County Commission. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You.
One thing get that our board and let's put things off.
Yeah.
Tough.